Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee. I'm Hope, and we have coffee, and today's cup is Storyville Coffee Company. I think I've brought it out before, but it is one of my favorite. I love it. It's whimsical, and I believe my ex-husband Christopher gave it to me, so thank you, Christopher, for this mug that I use so very frequently. I believe I have several mugs in the cabinet that he gave me because he knows I am a lover of coffee mugs. But today's episode is about, it's a little bit of a piggyback on one that I think I've posted previously. And the one previously is like starting my 90-day kind of wellness recharge, my 90-day wellness reboot. But I wanted to talk a little bit about 8 avenues of wellness. So wellness has multifacets, and it's not specifically strictly 8. It can be more or less depending on how you break it out for yourself. But there are roughly 8 that you more or less can kind of define. And again, you may define more. So if you define more, hey, let me know down below if you have more, or maybe if you don't think one of these is really an option that you really think is important. But for me, the 8 that I consider are physical wellness, the way you physically keep your body. There is mental wellness, the way you keep your mind. There is intellectual wellness, and that is not just how you keep your mind, because when you think of mental wellness is like anxiety and stress, whereas intellectual wellness is how you challenge your mind, such as reading or games or educational. How do you challenge your mind to keep it stimulated? Then there is financial wellness. So you think about, are you stressed about money? Are you okay with money? Are you fairly flush? Do you have old money from family? Like, what does your money situation look like? And financially, are you fairly well off, or do you feel like that's a source of stress for you? So that's a source of wellness for some people, is financial wellness. There's also social wellness. So for me, that's an area I tend to sometimes struggle in, is I don't often feel like I have a lot of, very much of a social circle. So for me, social wellness is an area that I tend to struggle in. But social wellness is not the fact that I'm not extroverted, because I am. I'm extroverted. I can make friends in a crowd very easily without knowing anyone. I can walk into a room not knowing anyone and walk around and kind of get a fairly good vibe and meld and mingle and not have a problem. But I don't feel as though I have a ton of people I can reach out to or call or text when I'm going through stuff sometimes, or I feel like I'm a burden sometimes. So that's what social wellness is I don't feel like sometimes I can reach out to people and just go hang out, or go grab pizza, or go grab a bite to eat, or grab a movie. Like, that's an area that I struggle with. But social wellness is, how do you socialize with others? And so that's considered an avenue of wellness. There's also occupational wellness. The job you do, and maybe you consider it a job, maybe you consider it a career, however you define it, the place where you make money, or whatever you consider your occupation, is a source of wellness. And it could be negative or it could be positive, however you view it. Because wellness does not have to be positive or negative. You hope it's positive, but it could be a negative source of wellness. So occupationally, if your job is a stressor, if you do not enjoy your coworkers, if the job is something you end up having to take home, if the commute is stressful, if it doesn't feel fulfilling, these are avenues of occupational wellness that are negative. However, if your job feels fulfilling, if you feel like you help people, if you feel like at the end of the day you have benefited either yourself or someone else, and that you feel like you are doing some level of good or it is doing you some good, then that's positive aspects to occupational wellness. So those can also affect your overall wellness. There is environmental wellness. And when you think environmental wellness, I'm not talking about outside, but it could be outside your home or outside of your apartment or where you live. But think about also inside of your personal space. The way you decorate your apartment or your home or your living area will affect your wellness and your mental space as well. If your home is cluttered, you may be able to see that it reflects in your head mentally that maybe you have a slightly cluttered mind. Maybe whatever's going on outside is also going on inside. So environmentally, how you create your space can often reflect what's going on internally. And so for me, I put a lot of grays and blues and greens and naturals and lights and twinkle lights, as you can kind of see in my background, because I like ambient light. I like soft lighting. I don't like harsh things. I like plushy things. I like things to be soft. I want it to feel cozy, because when people walk into my space, I want them to feel warm and welcome. I want them to feel cozy and invited, but I want to feel warm and welcome and cozy and invited, because when I walk into my space, it's my sanctuary. It is the place where I feel safe. So I want it to be clean. I don't want it to be cluttered, but that's just how I kind of make it. It's just how I want it to be. But again, your space, your environment is for you to decide how you want it to be and how you want it to affect your wellness. I know that by having my space this way, when I walk in after a day of work or even coming home from a trip, that this environment helps me feel relaxed. It helps me feel calm, and I don't feel stressed by coming into a space like this. And finally, the 8th avenue is spiritual wellness. And spiritual wellness can mean whatever way you need it to mean. Spiritual wellness means tuning in to yourself or to whatever higher spirit or power feels right for you, and allowing yourself to tune into that or check into that in whatever manner feels right, and lets you kind of not feel, I guess, alone, allows you to feel in tune with something else. For me, I love going for walks in nature. I love doing yoga. I love sitting in a peaceful space. I love reading and kind of feeling connected via a book to either other people or to the author who wrote it. I love, like I said, taking myself outside, sitting on a beach and just hearing those waves crash. These are things for me that are very spiritual because they reflect the sounds of nature. I love looking at the stars and watching like the stars as they move past, watching the clouds as they've moved past. For me, those are very spiritual things, but I can't define that for you. So you would need to find what that means for you. So those are the 8 avenues of wellness. So we have physical, mental, intellectual, financial, social, occupational, environmental, and spiritual. Now, again, if you can think of any others, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions or comments or would love to know anything else, please let me know at one of these social medias that I've got linked or the email. And I will see you all on the next page. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.